everybody. Welcome back to the Right Amount of Rant podcast. I am your host, Rival, along with my good friend, Julian. Say hi, Julian.
Hey!
Good job, Julian. All right, so for the eagle-eared among you, you may have noticed that last week we did not have a right amount of rants. Well, that's because allergies suck, and I was unable to come in here without the sneezings, the coughings, and possibly, sneeze so hard I fart. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of editing, and we don't need to do that. But we're back this time. Allergies still suck, but I think we're better off for it. We're going to be tackling some things that we have some, or at least I have. I think Julian will agree. Some of these are more geared toward me. But we got some topics we just kind of want to talk about. We're going to rant about a little bit. And I got to be honest, there's going to be a lot of hate train coming on this one. It's going to be choo-choo. Here comes the hate train. Because we got some topics. You guys are not
everything. Not really.
You guys are not going to be fans of what I have to say on this matter. So we're going to start it right off. We're going to get right to the nitty gritty, and we're going to go ahead and start compiling your hate mail because I'm going to discuss why. Well, first of all, today is the 26th of October. This is a Saturday. We're only a couple of days away from Halloween. And my confession is this.
Oh my.
Halloween is my absolute least favorite holiday, and I don't just not care for it. I actively dislike it. So yeah.
What makes you hate it? Well, not hate it, but dislike it so much.
Thank you for asking, Julian. So there's a lot of reasons why Halloween in and of itself is something that I don't care for. Now, understand as I'm trying to explain this. First of all, for those of you who are still here, thank you for allowing me.
We appreciate you staying here despite the facts. Despite the facts,
there's a lot of facts that you should just be despiting right now. But here's the thing. Thank you for being here and allowing me, 30 seconds with which to explain my opinion that is wholly unpopular. But more important, if you've stayed, you have a little bit more of my respect because you didn't immediately hate me and rush off to tell others to hate me as well. Here's the thing. Halloween sucks. There's nothing really fun about Halloween except candy. Now, here's the problem. At least in America, the place where I call home, we can get candy anytime. It's not like we've got a shortage of candy any other time of the year. And then suddenly on Halloween, it's like, oh, hey, here's the surplus. No, we've got candy. Your fat butt can go down the store and get a massive bag of whatever you want. Now, if you're a child, you don't have the option to go do that, do you? But also, if you're a child, you probably shouldn't be eating a whole buttload of candy, ruining your teeth. No, that's a whole different thing. But
now, that's the fun part of Halloween. Go knocking on doors, getting candy.
Yeah, you get to go knock on people's doors who would rather just be left the hell alone.
Well,
Leave me alone.
True.
Just because, I don't know you, child. Oh, child, you never come around my house. You never come around, or you're the child that walks down the streets and throws things at my house, or, whatever. I don't know you, but you're going to come to my house, knock on my door, and demand things from me? What? No.
But it's a right given to the children of that specific
No, it's
day.
not a right. It's clearly a privilege. There's no one here demanding, you're going to get arrested if you take away my child's candy stealing rights. No.
Oh, my God.
There's nothing here that says a child is entitled to candy. In fact, I would dictate
candy.
Yes,
okay, that was very clever.
No child is entitled to candy, Julian. In fact, I would say that candy is probably the worst thing you can give a child, given the fact that a lot of them are little demons in the first place and they don't need to be sugared up. But beyond my personal opinions of children, we all know they need proper food, proper care, all that stuff, because they're growing people. They don't need to grow into giant, massive, fat asses like I am. So no.
Like we are.
Okay, fine, like we are, you fat head. But here's the thing. No, I disagree with Halloween on a lot of bases. The one, giving kids free candy, it kind of teaches them, hey, go door to door, ask people for stuff that you want. Now, some would argue that this, it's a one time of the year. Kid doesn't develop any kind of weird mental state where it's like, oh, hey, if I want something, I just go ask it for others. yet, you know what? I would argue there are definitely some that have developed that as a result of this weird fixation on, hey, let's dress up as fake stuff and then go to door and demand stuff from people I don't know.
But how often does that happen after Halloween?
No, it's pretty much only on Halloween, although, whatever. And there are some people, and I've read the arguments from people who claim things like, it's tradition. It's tradition. I agree. It's tradition. But since when has, especially in America, tradition been the literal only founding of why something won't change? America constantly changes. It's constantly moving in one direction or another. So saying that it's just tradition and you should uphold it because of that one reason, no, I'm gonna go ahead and toss that one to the wayside. And then some people are like, well, the older kids, even if you ignore the younger kids and whatnot, like, okay, well, it's just younger kids. Well, what about the ones who are like 16, 17 years old who are still coming by? Yeah. A 16, 17-year-old should probably not be coming up to my door asking me for free candy, especially when they're not wearing anything. They don't even have a fake plastic mask on their face. They're not dressed up as anything, which would be part of the tradition. No, but they still get candy? Well, it's better than if they were, there's 1,000 other things they could be out there doing much worse than this. Yeah, well, there's 1,000 other things they could be doing better than wasting my time and being lazy shits. No. If you're 16 and you come to my door, first of all, if you come to my door, I probably don't have any candy because there's absolutely no kids in my neighborhood. And the first couple years that I lived here, I tried to get into the spirit. I bought a buttload of candy. No one showed up. So consider me slightly bitter on that.
Wow.
But the bigger point is, if you're 16, you show up at my door and you have no costume, guess what happens?
You're
getting the hell off my property. You're getting off my property and you're not getting any candy.
But you're getting the treat, not the trick or treat.
It's trick or treat, and the treat is candy, Julian.
I got it mixed up. My bad.
Clearly. No, I'm not going to trick them. I'm going to kick them the hell off my property. Get off my property. You're not here observing any kind of traditional holiday measures. Now, I will say this 100%. And this is where I'm going to backpedal on my opinion a little bit. If you're like 15, 16, 17 years old, which is kind of the cutoff years for trick-or-treating for a lot of people. But if you show up at that age and you've got a kick-ass costume, and I don't mean like store-bought maybe, but it's got to be like really good. But if you've got like a homemade like cosplay kind of stuff, like, oh, hell yeah, I'm dumping an entire bag of full-size Snickers on you. Not because it's Halloween, but because I respect the art of cosplay and doing it well. That's why you're getting it.
And also, I'll give you a condom because you're getting late tonight. Yeah! With that costume.
Julian, we're talking about 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
They're getting late. If they get some kick-ass costumes.
No, they're not. I don't know what happens in Argentina when people dress up in awesome costumes, if that's just a means for sex. If that's the case, buddy, I'll send you money to freaking start making a costume because I know you need some. But the point is,
I wouldn't be surprised, actually.
I'm not encouraging 15, 16, 17-year-olds to go out and get laid, senor. Also,
I know.
Good way to derail the topic, Julian. Jesus Christ. I'm over here trying to rant to why I don't care for Halloween. You're like, yeah, 15-year-olds gonna get laid.
I mean, that happens here. Not with
We're
Halloween,
not discussing
especially,
the pitfalls of your country yet. We'll get there. That's next week.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Next week.
Next week. Put a pinhole in that. We're going to discuss the pitfalls of your country.
Oh, my.
Now, in the state of Kentucky, the age of consent is 16. So if you're 15, I don't even want to hear that you know what sex is. Just for legal reasons. Also, none of my business. So back to Halloween and not the weird condom thing that Jillian was bringing up.
Back to Halloween.
God, that was awkward. I don't know what to do with you. So here's the thing. No, that's my one backpedal. But that's because I really appreciate the art of making it look like it needs to look. Like spot on. I really appreciate that. That takes a lot of effort. So no, like I don't appreciate Halloween. I don't like Halloween people like make pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. First of all, Julian, have you ever made a jack-o'-lantern? Have you ever carved a pumpkin?
Never done that. No, we don't do that here at all.
No. All right, let me tell you a little something about jack-o'-lantern carving.
Tell me, please.
Jack-o'-lantern carving, excuse me. It's messy as hell. Not easy at all. And it's just a whole lot of vegetables being cut up, put holes in, and then rotting away on people's porches. I'm not really a big fan of it. Not really a big fan. Now, my wife, when she hears this, she's not going to be happy because she recently went on a...
Oh, no.
I don't care. We've already had the discussion, but she's never heard me go into long range.
Okay.
There's near where I am, there's a thing called the Jack-o'-lantern walk or something like that, where there's like half a mile of 10,000 carved jack-o'-lanterns. Like, and you walk and it's like $14 to go walking or something like that. But yeah, there's like 10,000 carved jack-o'-lanterns. And I'll say this, they're all fantastically, like the skill and artiste that went into making these. She went with a friend and she took pictures and stuff. No, it's fantastic. I appreciate art to a degree that other people would think that I'm strange or like I sell paintings for a living, but no, that's not the case.
Oh my!
These things are fantastically well done, like super well done beyond what I thought could be done with a pumpkin. It's ridiculous. With that said, with my appreciation of the skill that it took to make those, I could not give less of a shit about going to that because I don't like jack-o'-lanterns. That's how little, like I looked at it and part of me is going, hey, that's neat. The other part of me is like, I'm not standing in line to look at this. I don't care how nice it is. That's how little I care about that stuff. Now, some people have already turned off. Some people have already deleted everything about us, and that's perfectly fine, and I understand. What was that, Julian?
But if you didn't, we love you. But I mean, it is art. I was saying it was art. You can still appreciate it for how pretty it looks, but that's about it.
Oh no, that's entirely the point. Is I appreciated the skill, and I greatly appreciated the end result because I know, like, I've got very modest artistic chops, mostly because I never train them, but very modest artistic chops. But I can tell this took a great deal of skill, and I still couldn't care. That's how little I care about that medium. So yeah. But then, you know, the other things that come with Halloween are like the stupid, like, oh, it's the kid-friendly spooky stories. Really? First of all, do you know of any like kid-friendly like spooky movies or anything like that, Julian?
Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Okay, yeah, that's kind of in the vein. It's very Halloween themed. Now there's plenty of other ones. There's plenty of other. Honestly, I can't even know. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to Google this. This is how prepared we are because I Googled stuff last second.
Yay!
Kid-friendly Halloween movies. Literally, Google filled it in for me. Thanks, Google.
Much appreciated, Mr. Google.
I wouldn't say The Nightmare Before Christmas is necessarily kid-friendly.
I haven't seen it, so I cannot tell you.
Well, there's some parts in there that would genuinely give a kid like some serious
and for those who still listening to us and clicked away, I'm so sorry. But if you didn't,
I'm not.
Good job.
I'm not. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Or something else that Marilyn Monroe said that was actually really stupid. Yeah, like Monster House, which is like a CG, just like, oh God. I've watched most of everything that popped up here, and I'm like, these are like, oh my God, these are garbage. These are garbage.
Monster House. Monster House was actually
it's just like, it's vampire, but the vampire is actually a nice guy. Or like, shut up! Vampires murder people. That's the idea. You're not people to them because they're not people. And they just want to suck your blood. We're not discussing that abomination.
Yes, we're not.
Thanks for agreeing with me on that. So, no. And first of all, I'll say this. For those who are still, with us, as Julian keeps pointing out, I appreciate your patience or possible agreement with me. So thank you for that. That's always a good thing to have. So, it's just everything about Halloween. You've got the trick-or-treating with the kids, which I think may potentially to one degree or another may teach them to be like, hey, if you do this and you go to people's houses, you get free stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not a fan. And that's not even talking about the guaranteed negatives, like people that go around and like pick up kids, like, you know, like perverts and stuff, or murderers or whatnot, who pick up kids who are like, oh yeah, the parents are like, oh yeah, you know what, you're 10, you're old enough, go walking around with your friends, and then you get separated from friends, suddenly you end up in a van and now you're on the news. Like, nobody likes to hear that stuff, but it actually does happen. Now, you also got stuff like back in the day when I was a kid, my parents had to inspect all of my candy when I came home because there were people who were known to put razor blades in the candy. So when a kid bit it, it would like tear open their tongue or roof of their mouth or something. Yeah, no, it's really, really messed up. Now, I don't know how often that still occurs, but
I don't want to think about it.
That's still a
horrible
thought. It is 100% horrible, and I hate it. I hate the thought that. Look, I'm the type of person that on my worst day with Halloween, I'm just not going to participate. That's it. If you come to my house, there's going to be a sign that says, sorry, broke, can't buy candy. That's a lie, but I want you off my property. I don't want that stuff. But the point is. Yeah,
actually, Halloween kind of forces you to participate. You like it or not.
Yeah, you have to spend money on people you don't know, and it sucks. But the point, and I'm not cheap. Ask Julian. I'm not cheap.
He's not cheap.
I'm not. Thank you, Julian. Thank you. I needed your very sudden and almost forced approval.
No,
on
I mean,
that
it is real. I've been in your house, man. You're not cheap.
No, I'm just poor. But here's the thing. That's on my worst day. I'm simply not going to participate. I'm not going to do anything horrible to a child. Despite the fact that children make me nervous because I'm like, everything around you is like a lawsuit or a jail sentence, and I don't want to be a part of any of this. Like, if I look at a kid wrong, they're like, go to jail. Like, why? Little Jimmy was being a shithead. I was making faces back at him. So, but like, I'm never going to do anything like put razor blades in kids' stuff. So I want to make that clear. I don't have such an aversion to the holiday that I'm going to actively try to hurt children.
You simply don't like it.
I don't like it. Now, at the same time, there are some people that go, holy crap, overboard. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of, like, first of all, there's been a real big thing lately in, like, say, the last 10 years of people who want to throw adult-oriented Halloween parties. That's fine. You do what you want to do. I have absolutely no... You do you. I've been to several of them. They bored me to tears. And that's not to say that, like, the ambiance or the people there bored me. The theme of everything bored me, as well as, like, there's been a prevalence of, like, slutty costumes that has taken hold. And, like, you've got slutty nurse, slutty vampire, slutty cheerleader. And I'm like, we've got enough sluts in real life. Do we have to fake pretend that you're not sluts in real life? Like,
but I mean, it's themed.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I have.
That's all you wanted to add to this conversation was it's themed. Well, congratulations.
Captain Obvious.
The party. Yeah. This party is themed around cosplay and whoring. Everybody here is a dirty whore. So, I mean, and that's the weird thing. Guys don't get that weird treatment. They don't like. There's rarely a sexy costume that a guy can wear because a guy has to be like really cut, because usually it's like, oh, you go shirtless as Tarzan or something, like, oh, look sexy, or you're just, you know, being Tarzan. But no, like
Tarzan. Oh
like super low cut nurse uniforms, or some chicks go in lingerie and they go that they're a lingerie model. Like, no, you're showing off your bits in public, lady. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. You're literally, if you were a hooker right now, this is just advertisement. You can write this all off as a tax deduction because you're clearly advertising goods and services right now. So yeah, I have a slight aversion to it. And it's not because I don't like women, and it's not because I don't want to see sexy women. It's because, well, I don't want to see sexy women in public because I oogle too much. And I don't want that to be a thing, and my wife will hit me when she hears this. So yeah, I just have an absolute aversion, and I had a lot more to say, but Julian said the thing about the condom and the 15-year-olds, and it kind of threw me off. So I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't. the thing is, we don't celebrate Halloween at all. Like some places try to like add the theme into it, but nothing really comes out of it. Like if anyone has to go trick or treat, they decide to do that. They don't do it at night. They do it in a specific place, like a mall or places like that. They don't do it outside at night.
There's been a lot of a trend of going toward what is known as trunk or treat, where like a church will throw a trunk or treat and they'll have all this stuff and the kids just go there and they go from trunk to trunk. And it's, you know what? There's a lot to be said for that, because that, if you go there and you do that, that's volunteered participation.
Right.
I actually have no problems with that whatsoever. I have no complaints of that either. If you go to a specific place and the people are there, that's clearly a volunteered participation. Like if I'm sitting in my house and it goes, oh, it's October 31st. I guess I done fucked up by being here.
Oh no.
Like it's not,
and then you get your house covered in toilet paper. That's
first
fun.
of all, that's never
fun.
happening. God help the kids if they do that. Woo! I will not be a happy camper. I do have bats and stuff. I will swing on a 12-year-old. I swear to God, I will.
Oh no!
Ooh,
then you get charged. Then you go to you go to jail.
First of all, I don't go to jail if this is all fantasy and I'm talking myself up for something I'll never actually do. But more to the point, it's that trunk or treat stuff. I have no problem with it. No qualms whatsoever. But here's the thing: is that Halloween absorbs so much of our culture around the time that it's supposed to appear. And for someone like me who never really got into it, I'm not big on wearing costumes. Like I mentioned earlier, I enjoy a very well done cosplay. I think there's a lot of art and artiste that goes into that. I think that's a lot of fun. I have no problem with dressing up. I have no problems with candy. I have problems with kids coming to my door and demanding candy from me. I have a weird thing with when anybody goes, well, I know you don't want to do this, but you absolutely have to. And I go, but why? I feel like there's an unspoken option of just no that nobody ever wants to hear. And I'm starting to say it.
Constitution, man.
It's like, I don't have to do this. Yeah, but now you're like you're just a stick in the mud. Okay.
You do it. You like
I'm a
it
stick
or
in the
not.
mud that didn't give your fat child more candy. Whatever. So, although getting your child up and walking them around is probably the best thing you probably do. That boy looks like his legs are about to break in half. All he does is stay at home, eat candy, and play Fortnite. So, I mean,
that's actually not a bad idea.
Doing
I agree.
that?
I want to join. Let's do the Fortnite. I'd never play Fortnite. Let's not bring that topic up now.
I've recently started playing that again, and we're getting slightly off topic, but I gotta be honest, visuals, I really enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy playing it, but I suck. And there's a lot of reasons for why I suck, but that's a totally different thing. And now, Julian, me and you, we should play it. That's a totally different topic. So,
oh yeah,
my opinion on Halloween, not a fan. I don't like the movies. I don't like any of the movies that are based around Halloween. There might be a few. I might be getting a little too enveloped with that one, but not a fan of it. And other people who are, super into it understand that I respect that you're super into it. I just don't agree. That's the end of it. I don't care.
In my opinion, Halloween, I don't give a single F about Halloween because we don't celebrate it in here. Although I do like when people go creative with the costumes.
Well, then you just need to go to a Comic-Con and be done with it.
Yeah,
that's essentially what that is. All right, so we're gonna move on just a little bit. That's enough ranting. I feel like I ran out of rant fuel for that one. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give you a bit update on what Florida Man has been up to. Florida Man,
what have they been up to?
Let's see. Florida Man has been very quiet lately, believe it or not. One of the things Florida Man has been doing is, and I do apologize, I'm going to read this verbatim. This one comes from the Miami Herald. This one starts off by the headline says, Florida man had sex with an Olaf stuffed toy inside of a Target, cops say, but he didn't stop there. Now, Florida man decided that he has a certain unnatural love for the Frozen franchise from Disney. Olaf, the snowman, was the target of this man's affection. Essentially, a young man, 20, Florida man, 20 years old, was hit with criminal mischief charge after allegedly getting a little too friendly with the Frozen stuffed toy. Cody Meter strolled into a Target on Tuesday afternoon, authorities says. With lust in his eyes, he headed straight toward a display of Disney Frozen merchandise. The St. Petersburg resident surveyed his options before selecting a large stuffed Olaf the Snowman doll. Florida man then proceeded to lay it on the floor and, quote, dry hump, end quote, the item, the arrest affidavit says. The defilement of the animated character did not stop there. And I'm gonna cough because I'm awkward to say this, but he then ejaculated onto the merchandise before placing it back on display. But Florida man wasn't done yet. Deputies say he then picked out another stuffed animal, this time a unicorn, and repeated the process. Florida man was eventually detained and taken to the county jail. He posted a $150 bond later that day.
Oh, good grief.
Now that is an awkward thing if I've ever seen it.
My God, this guy wasn't late for weeks or months to be able to bang two toys at the same, well, not at the same time, but
no, you're missing the point. That may not be the case at all.
Oh,
you misunderstand, and you you wholly misunderstand the power that is Florida man.
Oh, Florida man.
Florida man. Now we have a slight deviation, and I actually forgot to tell Julian about this, so this is going to be a bit of a surprise to him as well. There's a bit of news out recently. This is from October 22nd, 2019, for those who are listening as it comes out. This is actually Chinaman. In the same vein of Florida man. All right. Hesitant hitmen jailed over botched assassination in China. Okay. There are several hitmen who got arrested, and I'm going to tell you why. And this is absolutely fascinating. Okay.
Oh my God. What is it?
Okay. A group of hitmen have been jailed for repeatedly trying to subcontract a job to each other in, I'm not going to butcher that name. We're just going to say China. Here, I'm going to get a better article. Hold on. Hitmen China. Okay. I actually found a better article yesterday. Here we go. 5 Chinese hitmen busted for outsourcing murder over development battle. Okay. That's a no-hitter, says the first line of this article. God bless you. A hitman in China got cold feet, so he hired another hitman to do the job. Are you following?
Yeah, I'm following.
Someone hired a hitman to kill someone, and that hitman got cold feet, couldn't do it. So he hired another hitman, but that second hitman also outsourced the murder again.
Oh, God.
Okay. Who then outsourced the murder again, forging a 5-man deep change of bumbling subcontractors, none of whom actually killed anyone. All 5 unnatural-born killers were sent to jail over the deadly game of hot potato, in which each pocketed some of the cash and paid the next guy less. The original hitman was hired by I love it. The original hitman was hired by a real estate mogul, Tan Yuhu, in 2013. So this has been going on for 6 years. 2013 to kill a rival developer who had sued his company over a building battle, according to the outlet. Yuhu paid Zhonghua around, I'm butchering these names and I do apologize, around $282,800 American dollars to slay his enemy, but the would-be killer took the cash and used half of it to hire another hitman. So this dude pocketed about $141,000 and said, I'm going to pay you this much to kill that man. Okay.
First off, who would accept that amount? Like, who would accept less payment for doing something like this?
Well, first of all, the first guy didn't tell him, by the way, I was subcontracted to do this. I was contracted to do this.
I mean,
so I'm going to pay you less.
True.
No, the guy had no idea. He just took a job for $141,000. That's all it was.
Wow.
So here's the thing.
It's on a bike.
But of course, the second guy's name was Mo Tangjiang. I'm butchering all these names. I do apologize. But Mo didn't kill the developer either. He passed the job off to another guy, Yang Konsheng, who paying him $38,000 up front and promising around $71,000 when the job was done.
Wow.
Okay. To ensure he'd finally be killed, Mo gave Yang, apparently the next guy in the chain, the victim's photo along with his license plate number, according to the court.
Ooh.
The next year, Yang, the latest one in the chain, subcontracted the killing to a fourth man. Another man named Yang for $28,000 up front with $71,000 upon completion. So they're all just, at this point, they're just promising the payment back. A few months later, the second Yang handed the hit to a fifth man, Ling Jiaxi, for a measly $14,000. Are you noticing they're cutting it in half and handing it off?
Cutting in half. All the cutting. Oh my God.
So what started out as $282,800 has now come down to killing the same man for $14,000. Wow. Ling ended up telling the developer, the would-be victim, about the plot to kill him, and together they faked his murder, staging an image of him with his hands tied in an apparent attempt to collect the cash.
Wow.
Eventually, the developer reported the murderous plot to police, and each of the would-be hitmen was sentenced to between, get this, 2 and 4 years in prison.
Whoa.
For a plot to kill a man, they got 4 years or less. The developer who sought the initial hit got 5 years.
How many Chinese hitmen are needed to kill a man? Apparently not 5. They cannot kill a man.
No, they need at least 6, clearly. They need at least 6. Yeah, no, that was... It's so stupid.
Oh my God.
It's so stupid.
The right amount of laughter this is going to be turning into. Oh my God.
It was fantastic. So there you go. You had Florida man with special guest Chinaman, or Chinamen, I should say. Chinaman. Which, of course, yes, I realize that the term Chinaman is a racial epithet, but we're actually talking about it in the context of Florida man comparisons. Get off your high horse. It's not racist. So here's the thing. We just went from that, and now our next topic on our list is to talk about audiobooks versus regular books, because here's the thing. I'm going to just jump right into it. Transitions be damned.
Bring it.
My wife and apparently Julian both prefer audiobooks.
That is correct.
While I do enjoy an audiobook, there's something tangible and enjoyable about doing it yourself, about holding that heavy copy and reading. I actually enjoy reading. I really do. You may not be able to tell that from my horrible vocabulary. That's not the point. The overall point is,
not the main point of concern.
One of my favorite authors recently published the final book in his series. So it's like the culmination of everything. And I got a hard copy. I got a signed hard copy, which is more than she can say about her audiobook, can't she? Can't get signed copies.
I got a digital signed copy of an audiobook.
Yeah.
Fight me. Oh my God.
You know that's not a thing, right? You know, you're just full of crap.
I know it is.
Okay,
I know it isn't.
I want to make sure that you're not like some... I had to make sure you're not some sort of idiot that actually believes, no, but the author actually signed the digital copy. No.
I mean,
what? That's not a thing?
Possible, but it's stupid. It's not a thing.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. So here's the thing. Do I hate audiobooks? I've already said no. Pay attention. I've already said no. So I actually can enjoy an audiobook. But my wife is very much, I'll say this, my wife's too busy to really sit down and actually read a book. So she listens to it while she, rides in her car, while she does, dishes or whatnot. That's her thing. That's her thing. I don't bother her about it. It doesn't bother me. But I love a good book. I love sitting down, holding an actual book and doing it that way. I can't do the voices as well as some of these, the people that record the audiobooks can. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm entertaining myself. Shut up. But Julian, you have an opinion on why you prefer audiobooks over regular books. What is that?
Rather than I don't like the reading a book is because, first off, it involves a little more effort. First and foremost, that's
God forbid you put forth effort to put yourself inside of a well-crafted story.
But now the thing,
I realize that you've been fed video games and movies all your life, which is just mostly that passive medium, but whatever.
Yeah, I was not born with a book in my hands. That's one thing. I actually was born with a Sega Genesis controller on my hands. That's actually a thing. I got a picture of it, but that's not the point.
You were not born with a Sega Genesis controller in your hand.
Well, maybe not born,
unless your mother shoved a Sega Genesis controller up her hoo-ha right before you were born.
Okay, at the age of 3, the first thing I held in my hands at the age of 3 was a Sega Genesis controller. But that's beside the point.
That's at the age of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the age of 3. That's not the first thing you ever held.
At the age of 3.
Yes, but that's not the first thing you ever held.
I got a Sega Genesis controller.
First of all, when you turned a literal 3 years old, you were probably asleep.
Probably, yeah, most likely.
So the first thing you held was either your shirt that you were probably wearing, or your blankets, or a teddy bear, or something else.
Sorry, I cannot tell you. My memory's kind of fuzzy about that.
Oh, no, but you remember a Sega Genesis controller. I think you want to paint yourself into a cooler corner than you actually occupy, senor.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, it's my corner, so...
Whatever. Why do you not like an active medium as opposed to your passive mediums?
Well, here's the thing. I did try to grab a book and read it throughout. But for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure there's a scientific reason for that.
I don't know if science can explain your laziness, but please continue.
I'm pretty sure they can. They can call it a Julian syndrome. Anyways,
Bitch syndrome.
I tried reading a book, and after 20 minutes, my sight gets blurry. I can't really tell what I'm reading. Like, I can read the words, but I cannot remember what I read. So
you need to do it more often. Clearly, you have short-term memory issues. Stop smoking the weed.
But the weed is great, man.
You've never touched drugs in your life, you straight-edge loser.
Don't do that, guys.
Stop.
Kids. Don't. I'm not. I don't. First of all, I don't smoke at all. I hate cigarettes. I hate them. And the only the thinking that I want to smoke something, which is no. My parents used to smoke. They don't do that anymore. And no, I don't like that at all. Anyways, back to the point. Oh, reading books.
I don't know. I feel like we've just got off on a tangent about your Julian syndrome and drugs. I think this might we might derail this here.
Well, there's a thing. You realize what happened with us just going off topics by me trying to talk about why I don't read books. I'd rather have the audiobooks. First off, I cannot focus. I tend to forget what I'm reading. I can't really set a lot of I can't really focus while I'm reading. My sight gets blurry. I forget what I'm reading.
I think you might need to go to an optometrist if your sight's getting blurry from books.
But I mean, I can read an article just fine. It's just the thought of grabbing the book, looking down and reading it. I just fall asleep.
Oh, okay. It's just having a good time that's throwing you off.
Like, I cannot think of the last book I tried to read that I just couldn't do it. Like, I could do that. That's cool. Fine. That's fine. I still get bored and I still fall asleep, but at least I kind of was forced to understand what I'm trying to read. But now I really cannot. I'm forcing myself to read a book rather than try to enjoy it. I'm forcing myself to do something it's just not good enough for me. Well, I just don't enjoy reading books. They bore me. They make my eye hurt. It bores me to the point of
you need a better story then, man. What book did you try to read?
Harry Potter, the first book.
Holy crap! No wonder. I'd fall asleep from that too. For those of you who are still here, I appreciate your patience. I am crapping on a lot of popular things in my culture. Harry Potter. Oh my God, Harry Potter, so awesome. No, Harry Potter sucks.
The movie. I don't know about that.
Still
I
sucks.
tried reading the book and I fell asleep.
You should.
Well,
it's a teenage drama themed around kids being witches and warlocks. That's all it is. Oh, I'm a wizard. No, Harry, you're an abomination. Stop.
I'm a what?
So
you're a loser, Harry.
I mean,
oh my
okay, God. You're a loser, Harry.
Hey, he survived. And we're getting off topic again. See, this is what happens.
I don't know. We're still talking about books. It's all that matters. So here's the thing. If you didn't like the book, that may have been the problem. It may not be books. It may be that book was not to your liking.
I mean,
for example, if I gave you an erotic novel, I bet you damn well it would probably keep your attention, wouldn't it?
I mean, I never read an erotic.
I'm going to send you an erotic novel, and we're going to see how much you can read of it.
Oh my God! Imagine that in an audiobook, all the humming and the
humming
and the subtle.
Oh no! Let's not skip over this humming. What humming? What is humming?
You know,
what?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. You mean moaning?
Oh, well, you know what I mean.
No, I didn't. That's why I had to clarify because I gotta be honest. In all of my sexual escapades, not once did I go.
Oh shoot!
Like that's a hum. That's humming. That's humming. I'm not gonna be.
English is a hard language for me, at least.
Moaning. Maybe God. I understand the misuse of the word moaning, but humming. Oh my God! You hum a song. You know. I can't.
Oh man. Yes, harder, please.
Oh God, please stop. Oh my God. Oh.
That is my attention span while reading a book. That's why I prefer audiobooks.
But here's the thing, you're talking about your eyesight and stuff hurts, but then we've sat down and played video games together for hours.
But they keep me entertained. Okay, now you're making the... Well, okay, now I'm realizing
Now I'm making the point that maybe the book was just boring to you? Like, you're reading Harry Potter and it's like, I can't tell if this... Like, if you have to pick up a book and you can't tell if your vision is blurry and, like, your health is fading, or if the book sucks... I just got to be honest. I'd start with the book and maybe go to the doctor, but I'm starting with the book.
Oh my God. Does the Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Stone book is boring, is it?
I've never read them. So my opinion, the opinion of Harry Potter sucks, which I still stand by. I have no right to because I've not experienced them.
Let us know in the comment section below, guys.
No,
what do you think about it?
Is there a comment section?
I don't know. We're just
let us know by hitting up Julian's Twitter.
Yes.
Leave mine alone. I don't need your horrible.
I'm gonna open a poll for everybody.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start a poll that says, "Does Harry Potter suck?"
No. Does the first book suck? Is it boring? I'm gonna get the hate. Haters. We love you.
What do we? I don't know these people. These people might be nice people, but I don't know. Just like your kids and Halloween. I don't know you. Get away. Anyway, so here's the thing. I'm a big fan of regular books. Julian clearly has physical issues. They come up mostly that he's a whiner who hums during sex. So
yes,
you just agreed to humming during sex. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I made your life, so I'm agreeing to everything.
Okay. Oh, that's a dangerous position to have. So
yes, I know.
I just like the tangible feeling of a book. I love the tangible feeling of a book. I like the weight of it. I like to watch the book basically get completed as I get closer and closer to the end. You get that sense of I'm so much closer to the end now. I can finish this. That's something that you can do that you can't really do with an audiobook. Like, you can see there's only 3 chapters left, but you can't really see how many pages that is. That kind of stuff.
Well, you can tell how long it is.
Yes, but in generally it's still done by chapter, and you only see the length of each chapter as you do it, or at least that's through audiobook. So, but I love a good handheld book. So I think we've gotten as much out of this one as we can. What we've discovered is that I like regular books. Julian and my wife both care for the audiobooks. I couldn't think of the word. Thank you. And I think they're wrong. So we're going to move on to the next one. I know it's horrible. I'm sorry. We're going to move on. We're going to a quick palate cleanser with one more Florida man. This one says, Florida man sprays neighbor with bug spray, hits himself in head with nunchucks. And this one happened August 15th of this year. Florida man was arrested after spraying his neighbors with bug spray and swinging nunchucks at them before accidentally hitting himself in the head with the weapon. Which is just beautiful. This guy, by the way, his police photo, he gave himself one hell of a shiner. He has a black eye like crazy. He apparently wailed on his eyeball with it by accident.
Wow.
According to police, 61-year-old, you're 61 years old. How do you not know to be a decent person?
Anyway. I have the picture here. That guy doesn't look like a 61-year-old guy to me.
No, he doesn't. But, there's a phrase. For those who don't know, the gentleman in question is a African-American persuasion. And Julian, are you familiar with the phrase called black don't crack?
Nope.
It's a bit of a euphemism. I'm not sure how racist it might be. But the idea is that black people age very, very well. Whereas the rest of us, whites and Asians and whatever you are, Julian, we... Do you like that? Look, you're supposed to be like Latin or something.
I'm not
you
Latin
are
at all.
white as hell. You are whiter than I am, so you do not get to say anything. Whatever you are, you hybrid beast.
Fine, I'll give it to you. Damn it.
Please don't give it to me. You'll start humming. So the point is, the phrase black don't crack essentially comes down to black people age really well. And of course, it's just black don't crack because it rhymes and people love stupid rhymes. So whatever. No, he looks, I'd say mid-40s, if I'm being honest. And he's 61. He's doing very well. He looks very good. 61-year-old
punch in the face.
Well, except for that shiner. 61-year-old Larry Adams was complaining about his neighbors' loud music in their Daytona apartment complex. Adams sprayed four of the neighbors with bug spray, swinging his nunchucks at them, and hit himself. He was charged with aggravated assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Literally, that's all the Florida man had to do with that.
Because Florida man.
We also have a follow-up real quick. This one, this man is vaping. It says, Florida man tells deputy he vapes THC to prepare himself for the return of Jesus.
Oh, man.
Now, your religious opinions aside, and as well as mine, to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know if you need to prepare yourself for the return of Jesus with THC. I'm pretty sure the return of Jesus requires you to repent, get right with Jesus, because he's supposed to come back with like a flaming sword and like 440,000. I'm not 100%. Like a whole bunch of people. He's going to start a war with demons and stuff. It's going to be a bad time when Jesus comes back. That's basically what I'm telling you. So unless he's preparing to get super high during the end of the world, I don't know what he's going for. But this is what the news article said. A Florida man who thought he was 140 miles away from his actual location. How high were you? A Florida
The
man who thought he
highest.
was 140 miles away from his actual location told deputies he vapes THC to get himself ready because Jesus was returning. 23-year-old Carlos Julian
Carlos.
of Port St. Lucie was approached by deputies on July 27th after they were called to the Vero Beach outlets off State Road 60. Deputies found Julian in the driver's seat of a parked vehicle. The inside reeked of alcohol, and the passenger seat was a half bottle of Hennessy cognac, as well as a cup, which appears to contain the same booze in a cup holder. When asked for his driver's license, the Florida man handed the deputy a vape pen containing THC. It's not your driver's license. Deputies said Julian thought he was in Tampa, nearly 140 miles away from his actual location of Vero Beach. He told deputies he was enjoying his time in Tampa and that he was vaping the THC pen to get himself ready because Jesus was returning. This man was so high and so drunk, he was 140 miles away from the location he thought he was at.
Wow. Well, how was he able to drive that far in the first place?
You know
Florida
what?
Man.
It took many hours, but I guarantee he got there because clearly he did. So, there you go. That is this week's Florida Man. This next topic is a little weird. I'm not going to lie. This one is one that I particularly want to bring up because I realize we're going a little long to hit the final topic, that I am going to absolutely be the conductor of the rant train on this one.
Bring it.
Ooh. Julian, what's your opinion?
The rant.
What do you I can't even get it out now. What are your opinions on celebrities? Like the fame, the attention they get. What is your opinion?
What is my opinion? Well, I mean, I'm happy for them for being so popular and all that they have the gift the life gave them to become the people they are. But overall,
wow, that was incredibly vague. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's all I can think of celebrities. I say they don't care about me, and I pretty much don't care about them. Sometimes.
All right, time for a rant, because Julian clearly is not prepared for this. Let's get on a rant. I am disappointed in society.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were disappointed in me.
Oh, I am disappointed in you, but that's for different reasons. We'll talk about your humming during sex later. Here's my thing. Society has this weird obsession with celebrities. Weird obsession with celebrities. We are literally, to use a biblical term, since we just got done with talking about Jesus, we are idolizing these people who are literally just people. They eat, they breathe, they poop, they cuss, they go to sleep.
How do you know?
They do all of this stuff that we do. They are regular people. There are extraordinarily few of them that deserve our admiration at all.
Mm-hmm.
And yet somehow we obsess over these people. We obsess over people to the point that these people can do nothing but be famous. There are people now who are famous for being famous. That's it. That's the only reason they're famous, is because they're famous. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. Look at Kim Kardashian. What did she do to become famous? Nothing.
I have no idea, actually.
She's the daughter of a famous lawyer, which doesn't entitle her to any kind of fame whatsoever. You've accomplished nothing. And then she was in a couple of sex videos, which, again, there's a lot of sex videos. You're not special. So how did Kim Kardashian get to that level? We don't know. All we know is that now she literally makes a living off of being famous. Somehow. So my question is this.
Wow.
Why do we give people who attribute nothing to our society, who attribute little, I should say that, to our society, why do we continuously give to them our attention and why do we pay attention to their advertisements? For example, if Tom Cruise came out and he started trying to sell something. Tom Cruise, famous actor. He's famous as an actor because he's a decent actor. I'm not going to say great. There's some movies that I really like him in. Most of his movies I don't care for. The point is, him being famous shouldn't be enough to persuade me to buy something. It shouldn't. But a lot of people Well, maybe not Tom Cruise. Maybe Tom Cruise is a bad example. Let's go with a better example, a more recent example. Let's say,
such as
I don't know. I'm pulling a blank. God bless. Anything recent. How about Chris Hemsworth, Thor?
Ooh.
Okay. Recently came out with I mean, Jesus Christ. Marvel Cinematic Universe recently just got done with their phase 3 with the whole Thanos stuff. Like, why Chris Hemsworth doesn't do a whole lot of advertising stuff. Why should we, if he started, I don't know, selling sports gear or advertising for sports gear, why would we buy it? Because he's fit? He is incredibly fit. Why should anyone buy that?
Because it will make you look like him.
But it won't.
According to the advertisement.
No one in the advertisements say that anymore. My point is this. We give far too much attention to celebrities. It's ridiculous the amount of attention and thought that we put into whatever the hell what celebrities are doing at any given moment. It's gotten to the point where mundane stuff has turned into news. I don't care what so-and-so did with their dumb baby. I don't care. I don't care that so-and-so recently gained weight. I don't care what so-and-so, as a celebrity, especially in like Hollywood and stuff, it's their job, literally what they get paid for, to entertain us. That's their job. Right? Like that's entirely what they do. Why is it that they get extra? Why should they? First of all, and this goes into the whole concept of paparazzi, and people just want to know more and more and more and more and more about their favorite people, which turns into a very odd obsession. And I think these poor people, first of all, leave them the hell alone. Leave them alone. They're, like I said before, they're normal people. Man. They're normal people. Like there's so many people who hound these actors and actresses to death, and all they're ruining their lives in a certain way. What's up, Julian?
Yeah. No, I mean, all they want is peace. Peace and quiet.
And I understand to a certain degree that if you're famous and you went down that road to be an actor or an actress and you kind of chose this life, you have to be willing to accept it. But why? Why should you have to be willing to accept that? Why can you not do your job well, and then go home to privacy? Why is it when you go out in public, why is it you're constantly being berated? Like, think about that.
Yeah, it's actually, I think I never understood. Famous people really don't get a choice in here. They don't get that much freedom to wander around without being disturbed by any fans. But is it really that? I mean, I'm not a fan of anyone in particular to desperately go and run to this famous person, for example. The only example I can think of is this football player called Messi. I'm pretty sure most people know who that guy is.
I don't think most of our listeners know who that is.
Lionel Messi? You don't know who that guy is?
No. Is this a soccer player?
Yes.
You mean that sport that most of America doesn't care about?
I thought...
And thus we wouldn't know any of the players?
You don't play FIFA?
Ask me the name of any like international soccer player. Ask me to name any of them.
Well, name any of them.
I can't. I don't know any of them. I don't care.
Okay. Thing is, Lionel Messi being the best player in the entire world today.
That's arguable.
He barely got, yes, to some people. He
I don't even know this guy, but clearly he doesn't have any clean skills. His name is Messi. I could probably beat him, and I'm fat and asthmatic. That's all I'm saying. At me.
Okay. So. Thing is, I can understand. I can understand the fan. No, I actually don't understand the fan who wants to just go run wherever he is. And I mean, an autograph is fine, but do you really gotta go all the way to, I don't know, fly to the place where he is and then just see him?
I think you might be speaking on the more, I'm talking like socially. Like,
Well, I mean,
people that are consuming the social media of people writing about them, of taking pictures of them. And like, here's the thing. It's my position that celebrities are normal people. Celebrities are normal people. They deserve to be treated like normal people and hold them to the same standards. These people are not, they're not gods. They're not that impressive. They may have good talents in music or acting or what have you, but there's so many people. And this is the problem with this whole society and whatnot, with their obsession with celebrities like this is what happens is, I'm trying to think. I want to nail this down in the right way. I want to make sure I get this said correctly.
What you're trying to say is that they don't deserve it.
No, I didn't say that. Some people are very highly talented, and them standing out from the crowd is not unusual. What I'm trying to say is there are some people who go out of their way and use the culture of like obsessing over individuals, especially people that cause like controversy. Ooh. One of the fastest ways to get noticed, especially in today's age, is to cause controversy. There are people on my former streaming platform, Twitch, who are only famous now and have only gained the following that they have because of controversy. They're not special. They're not even talented. And I'll say that to their face. But these people are famous and people obsessed over them because they decided, oh, hey, I'm going to play around on the floor without underwear on. Oh, you saw my vagina for 12 seconds. I got banned for a week, but guess what? I'm now over 1 million followers on Twitch. Really? Why is this chick famous?
Because she showed her
vagina on Twitch. She used controversy to launch herself up on a platform to over 1 million followers, all because she ain't even decent looking. That's my opinion. But the point is, like, people bought into that. And now she's got more subs than most people. She's currently listed at like 48th highest, most popular Twitch streamer or something like that. It's outrageous to my mind that there are people that do horrible things and they get rewarded. And that bugs me a lot. Like, these people should not be put in the position of role models, but that's what we're doing repeatedly. We're raising them up and we're giving them a limelight. And believe it or not, whether or not we want to agree on it and whether or not you have kids or not, we're showing kids be like this on a repeated level. And a lot of these attitudes and a lot of these actions are objectionable, not just from a moral standpoint, but from like any kind of standpoint of anything other than pure attention grabbing. So yeah, I have a lot of problems with people that do that kind of stuff. Maybe my problem isn't celebrity obsession itself. Maybe my problem is with the obsession over the wrong type of people. Maybe that's really my problem. Because, and you know what, I'll back up that change of heart with this. I'll back it up with this. Julian, do you know who Keanu Reeves is?
I heard the name, but no.
Oh my God, you disappoint me so much. I was hoping you would be like, yeah, that's the dude from The Matrix or John Wick. Ooh. Have you seen either of those movies? You disappoint me. You are off the podcast. Next week, I'm bringing in Hack My Computer for the podcast. Julian is just... Julian, oh my God. You need...
I'm so sorry.
You are not.
I'm sheltered.
Sheltered? You're sheltered from some of the greatest cinema? Anyway.
Anyways, your point being...
The point is, tomorrow you're renting John Wick and you're watching that, and then we're going to have a discussion. That's my point. Okay. One of the best action movies to come out in like 50 years. Yeah, yeah.
Which of them all? 3 of them all?
There's a third one coming out soon, but you need to watch the first one, and then we'll discuss your shortcomings. So here's the thing. God. Keanu Reeves is one of my favorite celebrities. Now, here's the thing. I don't go out of my way to look up his stuff. I don't go out of my way to look up what he's doing. So I'm not a hypocrite from what I spoke of before. But this is what Keanu Reeves does that I positively love. There are hundreds of stories of him just doing random acts of kindness. Hundreds of stories of him doing this. Now, some could say that they're fabricated, and I'm sure some of them are. But the thing is that it's been documented. First of all, Julian, if you don't know, this still upsets me.
Yeah, most likely I don't.
You don't know. There's the Matrix trilogy. There was a thing called The Matrix, and there was a trilogy of movies starring him. He made like $150 million off those movies. Okay?
Right.
$150 million off those movies. He kept like 10 million. And then he donated the rest of it to a combination of cancer research and also to the costume and special effects crews from the Matrix movies. He literally turned a lot of those people into millionaires because he gave away that money. And he's been on record as saying, I don't need all this money. I can live off of what I've already got for a couple of centuries. I don't need all this money. So he gives his money away. There's actual documents of like police reports of people who have actually had auto accidents with Keanu Reeves. Like they've rear-ended his vehicle and destroyed his stuff. And his reaction isn't mad or angry or anything, but like many witnesses say he gets out of the car and is like, "Oh my God, are you okay? I want to make sure that you're okay." Like, are you serious? Like, why can we not elevate this and this attitude? Why is this not a thing that we're more idolizing in this country? And of course, there's also stories that could easily be made up, but like personal accounts of that have no, any sources or anything. But like there was one I read last night while I was doing some research on some stuff, and supposedly he was there, or they thought that it was Keanu Reeves, and they were like him and this guy and his wife were out at like a restaurant in Honolulu. And they were like, I don't know if that's him. And apparently the husband suddenly just stood up and did like a Bill and Ted, another movie I guarantee you haven't seen, like reference, which Keanu is in. And Keanu responded to it with the proper response. And the husband sent like a drink that Keanu was drinking over to his table, as thanks. And apparently Keanu thanked him for the drink, paid for the couple's meal without them knowing. And so basically when they asked for the check, they said, Keanu Reeves actually paid for this. Also, here's some dessert with a note from Keanu Reeves himself that said, hey, thanks for the awesome memories. Really appreciate it. Keanu.
Aww.
Like he appreciates his fans in a really subtle, like, I'm going to be over here, but hey, thanks. I appreciate you. Like, thank you. Thank you, Keanu Reeves, for being a human being that we should all strive to be. Also, another thing I learned last night, which I actually think is really cool.
Oh my God.
This man, who is actually a huge celebrity, huge. He's so huge.
Huge.
He has no social media. None.
Oh.
After reading these things, like, you know what? I do like Keanu Reeves. I don't know why I'm not following him on Twitter. I went to find Keanu Reeves' official Twitter account. Couldn't find it.
He doesn't have one. Wow.
There's even one called Keanu Reeves Official. It's fake. 100% not official. Because Keanu Reeves, if you Google Keanu Reeves official social media, it actually says, oh no. Thing about that is Keanu Reeves has never had any social media accounts. Ever. He's never, ever had any social media accounts. He values his privacy.
Wow.
So he says that. He does a lot of really awesome things and helps a lot of people. But then like they go, well, why don't you have any social media? Because I value my privacy. And honestly, I don't have anything to say about anything. What?
Wow.
So you mean the void, the intellectual void that is social media that people just keep spilling stupid stuff into is it boggles the mind. It boggles the mind.
Controversy.
Is it?
It is.
Here's the thing. Anybody who puts anything on any social media, I don't care what platform it is, they're looking for attention. That's the bottom line.
That is true.
When I post my stuff on my videos going up, I'm looking for attention. I want that video to do well. When you do it, you do it. When you post anything on any social media, you are expecting and wanting people to view it. That's the entire point. Correct. All of social media basically comes down to you wanting attention about at least this one thing. That's it.
Yes. Yes.
Keanu Reeves says, I don't want any attention. That blows my mind. From a man who is a very top paid celebrity. Blows my mind. And I know there are other celebrities. Don't hit me up with hate mail. I realize, yes, there are other celebrities that also do this, but Keanu Reeves is awesome. And that's like, this is me kind of doubling back on like, oh, we shouldn't obsess over celebrities. I'm not obsessing so much as I am just super impressed. And I'm impressed for what I believe are the right reasons, as opposed to like, God, did you see Kim Kardashian's butt photo recently? Oh, man. Man, that doctored photo looks really good on her. So, yeah,
basically go like, I don't care.
I don't care. And I don't like a lot of celebrities. I don't like a lot of celebrities, period. But I don't like the fame and whatnot. The only kind of celebrity paparazzi photos I like are the ones who are like making it awkward for the paparazzi to take photos of them, like intentionally making it weird. Like I saw one recently of one of the Jonas Brothers and his wife. Somebody was paparazzi was taking pictures of them while they were at an outdoor restaurant, and they both just like stared hard, like awkwardly at the paparazzi. And I was just like, that's the best way to respond to it. Thank you. Because at that point, it's just an awkward photo. It's no longer a candid photo. Now they're being weird, and you're not going to get any pictures out of it. Because it's not weird, like entertaining weird. It's just like, we're not going to give you the satisfaction of screwing with us and ruining our day. So instead, we're going to do this to you. So, yeah. Stop obsessing over celebrities. Most of them don't deserve it. Look for the ones who actually do deserve it and leave them the hell alone anyway. They don't leave these people alone.
They're still human beings. And they need not privacy, peace.
I'm not even caring about that. My point is, they're just people. They're just regular people. That's it. There's not a whole lot special with them. Some of them may have above average talents. Some of them may be amazing artists. They're still people. They're not gods. They're not infallible. And they're not that amazing. Their poop still stinks. And with that very thoughtful line, apparently my throat will not stop closing up on me today. With that very thoughtful line, we're going to leave that here. I think that has been enough awkward ranting for me today.
It was a good ranting.
It was a lot. Now my throat's really sore and I got to go to work still. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, no, I got to talk on the phones for several hours. Yay.
Yay.
So, anyway, I hope you guys have, for those of you who have actually hung tight with me on this, I really do appreciate you. We're trying to pick more topics to actually rant about, just kind of get our opinions out there. We realize our opinions are stupid, probably not well thought out, and it's just literally us ranting with very limited amount of information and knowledge on these. But we appreciate you hanging tight. You guys are fantastic, and we hope to catch you again next week. Myself and my new co-host will be looking at some new stuff. Because Julian has let me down for the final time.
Okay. Well, I guess see you never.
But if if you guys, yes, I'm gonna get a new podcast co-host who sounds a lot like Julian, but his name is going to be Carlos. So
Carlos.
There you go. Look, it's Rival and Carlos. It's RC. So next week, we're going to be looking at some new topics. We haven't even actually picked them out yet. We literally compile these the week of before we do it. And we just go, oh, hey, we're going to rant. I'm going to rant about this. And next week, I'm going to make Julian actually pick a topic that he goes off the hinges for. And we're going to watch him lose his mind. So stay tuned for that. If you guys want to catch more of us, myself and Julian, make sure to hit up our YouTube links. We both like doing a lot of YouTube. We do a lot of YouTube together. So that's the thing that you can check out with that. We in a more video game oriented subject. And of course, we also do a lot of stuff solo as well. Check out our Twitters, our YouTubes, all the things will be down in the description. Check those out. And as always, friends, stay awesome.